If you're hunting for a reflector telescope that promises stunning views of the moon, planets, and beyond, you've probably come across the Meade Polaris 130EQ, touted as an entry-level astronomer's dream. But here's what surprised me. While it claims to be beginner-friendly with powerful optics, there are some pitfalls that could leave you frustrated before you even spot your first star. Today, I'm breaking down everything you need to know before investing in the Meade Polaris 130EQ, alerting you to hidden issues while still highlighting the moments it truly shines. So stick around, because this review could save you both money and headaches, or maybe even convince you to take the plunge if it's right for you. Ready for the real scoop? Let's dive in. First off, who is this telescope for? The Meade Polaris 130EQ targets beginners eager to explore astronomy with a reasonably priced, seemingly high-powered device. It boasts a 130 5.1-inch aperture and 650 focal length, solid specs for capturing detailed views of celestial objects like the moon and brighter star clusters. Plus, it features fully coated glass optics designed to enhance brightness and clarity, which sounds perfect for newbies wanting vivid glimpses of the night sky. However, even promising specs don't tell the whole story, much like a spaceship with a shiny exterior but questionable engine. Let's break it down further. One of the first things you'll notice is the German equatorial mount, big, stable, and featuring slow-motion controls for smooth tracking. That's essential for astronomers eager to follow stars as they move. However, while it looks impressive, setting it up and getting a hang of the equatorial mount can be intimidating for first-timers. You might find yourself wrestling with the alignment process longer than you planned, turning your stargazing session into a puzzle. I once joked with a friend that assembling this mount felt like piecing together IKEA furniture with missing instructions, so expect a bit of patience here. But hey, isn't that part of the adventure? Now the included accessories are a mixed bag that begs discussion. Meade throws in two eyepieces, 10 and 20 mm, a 1.25-inch 13% moon filter, a 4-piece color filter set, a cell phone adapter with 1.5x Barlow lens, and a finder scope. On paper, that sounds like a full starter pack. In practice, though, some users report the filters don't make a huge difference in image quality. They're more like fun add-ons rather than essential tools. The cell phone adapter is a nice touch, allowing you to try astrophotography without breaking the bank, though attaching your phone can be a tad fiddly at first. But here's the snag. While the optics are good for a beginner scope, don't expect crystal-clear images comparable to much pricier models. The fully coated glass lenses do improve light transmission, but some users complain about blurry edges or difficulty focusing on distant objects, especially faint galaxies and nebulas. It's the classic trade-off. You get great views of bright objects like the moon but less satisfying performance on deep sky wonders. Think of it like buying a car with a flashy paint job, but an engine suited only for city driving. Given this, my question for you is, are you looking for a beginner telescope that's easy to use and forgiving, or are you prepared for a learning curve that includes some trial and error? The Meade Polaris 130EQ falls into the latter category. It's rewarding once you master it, but beginner astronomers with zero patience might find it frustrating. Speaking from experience, patience is part of the stargazing joy. Plus, the thrill of finally tracking Jupiter's moons or the Orion Nebula more than compensates for the early struggles. Now, for the setup. Meade promises no tools required for assembly, and that's largely true. The telescope frame is lightweight and straightforward to put together, which is great for families or young astronomers eager to get started quickly. Yet the precision required to balance the telescope on the mount can be tricky since the counterweights and slow-motion controls need fine-tuning. Skip this and your telescope might wobble just as you spot a rare comet. Talk about frustrating. Imagine your telescope throwing a tantrum like a toddler refusing bedtime. But stick with it, and you'll appreciate the smooth, accurate pointing once calibrated. Here's a twist. Despite some critiques, many users love how the 130mm aperture gives crisp views of lunar craters and the rings of Saturn. The telescope captures these celestial sights in surprising detail within its price range, making it a budget-friendly entry point into the cosmos. And the included color filters can enhance views of Mars or highlight solar features through creative experimentation, even if they're not game changers. It's a reminder that while this telescope is not without flaws, it can spark enthusiasm and nurture a lifelong passion for astronomy. But should you buy it? Let me tell you a story. A friend of mine grabbed the Meade Polaris 130EQ as a gift for his curious 12-year-old niece. At first, they fumbled with the setup and squinted through the eyepiece, battling focus issues and alignment woes. However, over several nights, they adjusted the mount and learned the tricks of celestial tracking. Soon enough, the niece was giggling with delight spotting craters on the moon and observing Jupiter's moons dance. That experience created unforgettable memories, and the telescope became a gateway to science lessons and outdoor bonding. That's the kind of joy this model can offer if you're ready to embrace the learning journey. Humor breaks. How about this? Why did the telescope apply for a job? It wanted to get more exposure. Or, what do astronomers do when they're hungry? They grab a Mars bar. And hey, if the stars don't cooperate, just remember, even telescopes need a break sometimes. They don't want to feel spaced out. So what about problems? One important issue is the mount's sensitivity to wind. The Meade Polaris 130EQ's mount is stable on calm nights, but can turn shaky on breezy evenings, making observing tricky. Also, some reviewers mention that the tripod legs, while adjustable, feel less sturdy compared to more professional gear. This might irritate you if you're outside on uneven ground or trying to steady your view through the eyepiece, kind of like trying to balance a milkshake on a wobbly table. Still, compared to other beginner telescopes in this price range, the Meade Polaris 130EQ stands out for combining decent optics with a true equatorial mount, a feature usually reserved for pricier scopes. This mount lets you track stars accurately as Earth rotates, which is a major plus for budding astronomers eager to learn advanced techniques. Now, let's talk final impressions before you make your choice. The Meade Polaris 130EQ is not perfect, but it offers solid value if you're patient and willing to invest some time learning the ropes. Its optics are bright and sharp enough for moons and planets. The mount provides stable tracking once properly set up, and the included accessories give you everything to start exploring right away. However, if you want crystal-clear deep-sky views without fuss, or a telescope that assembles in minutes with zero learning curve, you might want to hold off or consider a more beginner-friendly alternative. Here's the twist to end on. The Meade Polaris 130EQ teaches you astronomy in a hands-on way, challenging you to understand the night sky's movements and your telescope's mechanics. It's less a quick fix and more a rewarding hobby starter. So, would you say it's the best bargain for budget-conscious beginners who enjoy a challenge? Absolutely. Could it frustrate those expecting plug-and-play? Also, yes. In short, if you're a beginner astronomy enthusiast, or shopping for a young stargazer who's ready for a bit of trial and error, the Meade Polaris 130EQ is worth serious consideration. The joy of exploring lunar craters, spotting planets, and glimpsing star clusters through a 130mm aperture telescope has fueled many budding astronomers' passion for the cosmos. Just remember to clear some time for setup and practice. Patience pays off when the heavens open up. Finally, if you're ready to take that step into astronomy with the Meade Polaris 130EQ, check the link in the description for the best price on Amazon. It's a gateway to thousands of stars, planets, and nights filled with wonder, all waiting right outside your window. Happy stargazing, and may your sky be always clear.